first asked me if I'm happy. Loading up Nova in my truck, moving to an ice shack in Alaska where no one will find me. I want to be found. Not their business. I get it. My friends are worried. All I do is eat, sleep, chess. Do it again the next day. So I'm not mad at my friends. Because their intent is pure and good. But they're distracting. So the result is still a bit annoying. Well, I'll give you a brief glimpse into my chess training regimen. You can decide if my chess life balance has already reached level. So here is what a typical Monday morning looks like for me. It's 5 a.m. My alarm clock is ringing. I don't snooze. I stumble into my kitchen to prepare myself breakfast. My nutritious breakfast consists of 4 scrambled eggs, 5 sausage patties, 1 glass of pulp-free orange juice, a handful of purple grapes, the green kind. And then I sit down, salt and pepper my eggs, right as I take the first bite of my breakfast. I also begin my first chess-related activity of the day. This Monday, my chess breakfast consists of Django with my chess notebook and podcast weight. In games for chess breakfast this week. Why did I choose in games? The main difference between Magnus, myself, aside from about 70 IQ points, when Magnus has an enemy on the ropes, he finishes his enemies off every time. When I the chess ropes. Enemy doesn't have out. Need that later. I put enemy away most every time. I need to do it every time, like Magnus. So in games or breakfast. I'll stop there because my daily program for chess improvement gets much more intense at 8 a.m. First enemy of the day gets his or her wake up at 8 a.m. And the alarm I sound for enemies at 8 a.m. Let's just say enemies wish my ass kicking came with a snooze button. So I don't want to move to Alaska, but I don't want people to keep asking me. I'm really happy playing chess most of the day, every day, and then dreaming about chess at night. Once and for all, right now, I'm going to address the question. Am I happy? I'm locked in. About being happy. It's about winning chess battles. Because winning chess battles makes me happy. Let's see, smiling just thinking about winning chess battles. That's why I've got a W coming right up. Everything I need. Love that comes with me. I had a great time. Thanks for all the tea. But the wind don't change. It's life. It's off to cry. Hold my surrender flag, like warriors have swords. I need something to hold my surrender flag so I can draw it quickly and easily. would like to finish that beautiful song by Sia on guitar, but chess comes first. And I need at least one hand for chess and two for guitar, so finish it on guitar. As promised. Not only did I break a million, I shattered it. I figured some stuff out, guys. You know what? Maybe I can play guitar and virtual chess simultaneously. You're wondering, how am I going to move my pieces? And play guitar. After all the time myself and chess.com have spent together since December, I bet I can just talk to chess.com. Chess.com will move the pieces for me. Worth a shot. Crazier things have happened. Magicians do weirder stuff. Okay, let's see. In white, okay. Germany. E4. Chess.com, I'm white. Well, I don't see color. I think it needs more specific instructions. I mean, like I was playing as the white pieces. You got to be clear with robots. Again. Okay. It means from America. Chess.com, white pawn E4. Some of the things I say about you on my podcast, chess.com, I would not follow my orders either. I'll do it myself. And I'm alive. And I'm alive. That's what you see. And I found solace in the strangest place, way in the back of my mind. Gosh darn it, come on. I saw myself in a stranger's face, and it was mine. Can we get a game going? All right, Irene, let's go. And I had a one-way ticket to a place where all the demons go, where the wind don't change, nothing in the ground could ever go. No hope, just lies, and you're taught to cry in your pillow, and I survived. And I'm still breathing, I'm still breathing, I'm still breathing, and I'm still breathing, and I'm alive. I'm alive, and I'm alive. We're both castled. It is the middle game now. Middle game late to join the party as usual. You can't count on the middle game to be on time, but that's why it's not the opening game. Okay. So now, well, let's see you also join the party so I can focus on giving some commentary here in a second. I took and I took what you gave. I was in pain. Did all the things that you said that I could. I would never be forgotten, and now it's funny. You see it. All right, let's kick some ass.
I'm still breathing. I'm still breathing. I'm alive. She's good. I'm alive. I'm alive. What's your pawn hanging? Idiot. And I'm alive. Check. All right, thank you. See ya. How are you? Silly. Let's go get our queens. Where possible. We get some queens off the board, please. Short games. And really, I'm more so just idiot. Queen, king, fork. And you'll notice I'm playing, this would be considered blitz chess. Yep. Like queen, we'll be seeing you. And I'm mostly, oh, can't do that though. And I'm mostly playing blitz chess just to get my rating. As you'll notice, I'm 1250-ish in rapid chess, and now I'm trying to just boost my rating, and enemies are even more incompetent than some of the enemies in rapid because I'm even more so the underdog in blitz chess because I just haven't played much, which is fantastic for demonstration purposes. That's silly. So I don't have to think a lot, and then the post-game analysis, I can really give you the best commentary possible and break down my game. Game abandoned. His ass was getting kicked. I think we can all agree on that. Is my connection bad? I don't know where chess.com. Okay, abandoned, as you can see, it goes down as a win. Abandoned is not technically a resignation. But he was close to tapping out, so wave that thing anyway. All right. Okay. Let's do a little bit of post-game analysis. I like this approach until I get to the Grandmaster level of playing weaker enemies in quicker games because I value your time, and then give a better analysis because I also value any viewer's chess growth. And Grandmasters, obviously, you want to watch the Grandmasters channels or analysis because Grandmasters know a lot more than I do about chess. Where I feel my analysis can add value to any beginner or lower intermediate chess athletes hoping to be the best also. I follow even Magnus when he's explaining and breaking down some of his chess battles. I understand what Magnus Carlsen is saying, and I even know some of his terminology. Here's the difference. Even if I had all of the knowledge Magnus has, which I only have some, but even if I had the amount of knowledge for chess Magnus has acquired, here would still be the big difference. Magnus can apply it under intense pressure with a talented enemy trying to psychologically destroy Magnus. And I have to see Magnus explain the concepts he's applying in the post game before I can understand it. That's why I'm not Magnus. But I am an above average chess athlete, and I want to get you started. So then, once you have a more strong foundation for your chess house, then you can go watch Magnus, and it won't be frustrating because I've eased you into chess. Okay. Let's do our key moments real quick of this week's ass kicking. Enemy's accuracy was not good. You would not want to go to a shooting range with enemy. You might want to go to a shooting range with me. Your odds of survival are much better. Okay. Key moments. Break down our key moments. Okay. It's a book move again. In the open, book moves are real good. Castle, got our early castle in. Seem to find the middle game has begun. Again, the opening phase, best I've understood from reading and watching videos from the greats, is you're open, you're not setting the world on fire until you castle. You're playing a smart opening, and if enemy errors, then you can capitalize on enemy errors. But there's one moment in chess to just play it somewhat safe. You're going to want to play it safe in the open, and then when you castle, controlled chaos. Okay, it didn't love that. Okay, and my thought process as to why I threw my C bishop real hard at enemy h6 knight is I didn't want enemy h6 knight galloping to g4, because I don't have a way to defend that. If my knight on f3 were out of the picture, then yeah, my queen could capture enemy knight hypothetically galloping to g4, because enemy bishop is currently not activated due to enemy d7 pawn blocking it. So that's why I wanted to get enemy knight out of the equation. They wanted me to activate my b1 knight, as you can see. And that makes sense too, because my thought would be in a pretty quick move, maybe 2 or 3 moves, my horse can gallop to d5. And it's not under much pressure, because enemy c pawn can't walk to c6 because enemy horse is blocking c. And then also I've got the queen under pressure if I could get my horse to d5, and there's not a lot enemy could do to remove my horse from d5, and I have control of center. Chess.com algorithms. You win, always. I question you, I know better. Okay, that move, let's go back one. Go back. Whatever. Okay, so I took my bishop and forced check, anticipating enemy rook would capture my bishop. I would then capture enemy rook on f7 with my horse. Queen would be in jeopardy of my horse stomping on enemy queen. And then enemy king, I assumed, would just capture my knight, and then the exchange would go down as I win a pawn and rook. Enemy gets my horse and bishop. Enemy was impulsive and panicked and didn't take my trade, which is why the ass kicking was almost finalized as soon as he declined my horse and bishop trade for pawn and rook. And now I know it's over. It's just a matter of finishing it off. So next move. Makes sense. Yeah, whatever. It's hard to critique my decisions in these games because enemies are clearly not very competent at this stage in my blitz career. But yeah, get the bishop out of harm's way, whatever. Okay. Now, here's why I didn't make the correct move, because again, enemy at this level, not a bad person, not a good person. By the way, not a competent enemy at this point in time. So we're going to fork real good and get enemy king and queen forked. So yeah, I mean, now he's got to do something to get my horse out of harm's way. His rook is going to be eliminated from the ballgame because that's the only way to defend my threat. And otherwise, he's losing enemy queen, which, again, enemy not real competent at this level. So he chose not to take my horse. My horse rode off to take enemy queen, and the ball game was over before the 7th inning stretch. Okay. Cool. Now we're going to grab one line, and we're going to explore it a little bit deeper. The line I'd like to explore is actually by the enemy this time, and we're going to go to the very end where the enemy should have taken my bishop instead of losing a queen for basically nothing. Or my horse, not bishop, sorry. So if enemy does that, that's obviously the correct move. Now, obviously, enemy's going to lose a rook, but losing a rook and winning a knight is a lot better than losing a queen and getting a knight at enemies. Okay, so now what we've got is an ass kicking, but it's kind of like an ass kicking with just your parents spanking you as opposed to using a switch. Basically what I'm saying is he could have made this less embarrassing for himself. Okay, so now, get my face out of there. D7, as you can see, is the correct move now, and what enemies would want to do hypothetically is let's get enemy rook in the ball game here, which is why bishop comes out to D7. Now enemy rook is active, and I at least have to work for the W a little bit now versus being up a queen and a lot of talent. And that's why enemy should have, first of all, not lost enemy queen and stolen my horse, because that scenario which I just showed you played out, where if enemy would have done the correct thing there, let me just say, I'm going to win that ball game. But this position, plus 3.81 in favor of me, this position looks a lot more desirable for the enemy than this position. Right? Okay. There's our ass kicking and our analysis. I mentioned a few weeks ago, I believe episode 7, the outline for my chess castle on Rook Island. I don't have some weird obsession with castles, but you know what they say about grandmasters. At least you should know how the saying goes about grandmasters and chess castles. That saying about grandmasters and Rook Island chess castles. If you build it, they will come. And I need home turf, so I stand a chance. And the castle will not be the only advantage. I've got a few more really psychologically crushing ideas to give myself an even further advantage against grandmasters. I'm not going to tell you some of the ideas I have. I have at least two more aside from the castle to throw grandmasters off of their games when I play them. I don't want to spoil the surprise. But I will say this about my techniques that I have planned to psychologically let's say confuse grandmasters for when they join my podcast one day. I don't want to get sued because a lawsuit would be really counterproductive to my chess training regimen, which I have scheduled down to the minute. But I'm worried I might overdo the psychological, I hate to say torture, the psychological disadvantages, handicaps grandmasters will be facing one day on my podcast. And so I might have to have them sign some type of contract to ensure they know they can tap out if the psychological distress gets taken too far. I want grandmasters to, of course, feel comfortable and know that at the end of the day, I'm here for chess and I respect those grandmasters. So I have some lawyers draft up a contract so I don't get sued and grandmasters know they can end the session whenever they feel uncomfortable. It's the bottom line. The code word will be checkers. And it all stops. I'll be like the chess version of Jamie, was it Jamie Dornum, right? From, I apologize if that name. Who is he? Jamie Dornan, okay. I'll be like the chess version of Jamie Dornan in 50 Shades of Grey. It's pushing it. The controversy sells. Comparing myself as a chess podcast host to Christian Grey. Don't get much more controversial than that. See you next week.